This is Northern Light for Tuesday, June 30th. Good morning. I'm Monica Sandreski.
And I'm Catherine Wheeler. A North Country lawmaker is calling on Governor Kathy Hochul to veto a statewide moratorium on data centers.
It sends the wrong signals to developers, economic developers, that New York can't handle it or is not prepared or is not welcoming it.
Also on the show, homelessness in rural communities looks a lot different than in urban areas. We'll head to the southern tier of New York, where a group is trying a new approach.
It makes my job harder because I have to find these people. And then I have to, get them resources, which there aren't as many.
And we meet a mother and son in Edwards who are taking on a new challenge by taking care of a litter of puppies.
All that's coming up on Northern Light. Stick with us. Support for Northern Light comes from Keys Financial Services, now partnered with BK Capital LLC, offering investments, financial planning, and insurance for over 35 years. Offices in Lake Placid and Durham, Connecticut. keys-financial.com. And from the Gallery of the Blue Frog in Lowville, featuring paintings, pottery, jewelry, and more, produced by local artists and crafters. Details at Gallery of the Blue Frog on Facebook. This is Northern Light. I'm Monica Sandreski.
And I'm Catherine Wheeler. Governor Kathy Hochul is urging New Yorkers to prepare for multiple days of extreme heat. Extreme heat watches and advisories are in effect today for the Tug Hill, Thousand Islands, the Champlain Valley, and the Glens Falls, Saratoga area. According to the National Weather Service, it could feel hotter than 100 degrees in the North Country tomorrow and Thursday. Extreme heat is the leading cause of weather-related deaths in the United States. Anyone experiencing symptoms like shortness of breath, chest pain, or coughing should consult with a doctor. Make sure to drink plenty of water, even if you're not thirsty. Check on older neighbors and small children. And don't leave pets outside or in your car. And you can wear light-colored clothing. The governor is also advising New Yorkers to monitor their local forecasts and make sure emergency alerts are enabled on their phones.
Data centers are igniting strong opposition in communities across the U.S. right now. They gobble up huge amounts of natural resources. But companies say they're critical for new technologies, can bring new jobs, and boost the economy. In New York State, lawmakers passed a one-year moratorium on new data centers during the legislative session. It's now up to Governor Hochul whether she'll sign the bill. A North Country lawmaker is calling on her to toss it out, but some local advocates say the bill doesn't go far enough. Catherine Wheeler reports.
The Responsible Data Center Development Act would put a one-year statewide moratorium on approval of data center projects over 20 megawatts. It would also require an environmental impact analysis, make energy efficiency rules, set labor standards at data center construction sites, and would ensure companies invest in their host communities. Earlier this month, Governor Kathy Hochul told reporters she's still weighing the decision.
Before I talk about the moratorium, which I have to review, I've also want to make sure that New York communities that have plans before them right now are doing the right thing and getting the best deal they possibly can.
If Hochul signs the bill into law, New York would be the first state to temporarily ban data centers. Other states have and are considering similar measures. Maine's Democratic governor recently vetoed a moratorium. Watertown-based Assemblyman Scott Gray says Hochul should do the same for a few reasons. One is economic.
It sends the wrong signals to developers, economic developers, that New York can't handle it or is not prepared or is not welcoming it.
Gray says he also thinks the legislation is duplicative. Back in February, Hochul announced that the New York State Public Service Commission was beginning to study the state's energy transmission system and how development, like data centers, would impact the grid, economic growth, and ratepayers. Gray says the state should let that process play out.
The governor's already approached this topic and is already taking the concerns that people have expressed and putting them at the PSC and say, figure this out and get back to us.
Data centers are a touchy issue across the country right now. A recent Gallup survey shows that roughly 70% of Americans don't want them built where they live. People are also worried about the massive amount of water needed to keep them cool, the high energy demand, and that it could drive up their own electricity costs. That could make energy more expensive at a time when we're supposed to be transitioning to renewables due to climate change. In Messina, a data center project has drawn strong public pushback. North Country Co-Location Services wants to build a 1.5 million square feet, 635 megawatt data center near the St. Lawrence River. A group from Akwesasne has been leading the charge against the project. Ronnie Sunday with Mohawks United in Safety and Health says her group opposes the proposal because of the potential water quality and other environmental impacts. The Akwesasne community has a long and painful history of pollution from nearby industries. Sunday says the proposed statewide moratorium doesn't go far enough.
1 year is way too soon because a lot of these projects can still continue to work in this 1 year. So by the time that the 1 year is up, they kind of have all of their ducks in a row to be able to proceed. And I think that it should have been at least a 3-year moratorium.
Sunday says going forward, the group is advocating for a total ban of data centers locally. A lot of power for approving data centers lies with cities, towns, and villages, thanks to the state's home rule law. Assemblyman Scott Gray says that's what he wants, the state to provide some guidance, but for communities to decide.
It is incumbent on the state government to provide a regulatory framework that allows these to proceed if the local communities so choose. So we're the framework, they're the ultimate decision makers.
Gray says that's why he's proposed a new bill that would ensure companies would have to pay for their facilities without passing the burden on to ratepayers and require certain building and setback rules. Governor Hochul has until the end of the year to approve a moratorium on data centers or veto it. Catherine Wheeler, North Country Public Radio.
Also, during this past legislative session, green groups in New York had their eyes on several bills to protect public health and the planet. The New York Public News Network's Chris Bolt reports on several disappointments where their advocacy fell short.
Perhaps the developments that drew the loudest outcry were changes to the state's climate law. A key shift stopped the monitoring of fossil fuels used here, but sourced elsewhere.
Under our 2019 law, where we're responsible for those emissions that we let off here, but also those fossil fuels that came into our state. When we were looking at, okay, what are the impacts? The point of this law, we would be responsible for all of those impacts with natural gas and delivered oil.
Environmental Advocates of New York's Catherine Nadeau adds another change in greenhouse gas monitoring hides the impacts of methane on our climate. And she notes targets for renewable energy growth and fossil fuel reductions became just goals instead of mandates. Also left on the table, or in our trash cans, was a failure to pass the Packaging Reduction and Recycling Act. Environmental Advocates Claire Walsh-Winsler says the bill, known as PREA, fell short.
The bill that would both reduce the overall amount of trash, but also reduce the toxic chemicals in our packaging. Unfortunately, we did not see PREA move in the Assembly. It did pass in the Senate. We will be back again to fight this big, massive load on our environment.
The measure would also have required producers of packaging to help pay to recycle or dispose of it. Environmentalists further lamented inaction on bills that would have outlawed PFAS chemicals linked to cancer and illness. Drinking Water Protection Director Rob Hayes says bills to prohibit them from cosmetic products and a range of household items failed to come to a vote.
PFAS are so ubiquitous that you have to be addressing both the contamination that's already happened and taking action to prevent further contamination, because these chemicals are still being put in products.
These measures are not dead, say advocates, who plan to fight for their passage next legislative session. In Syracuse, I'm Chris Bolt for the New York Public News Network.
This is NCPR. You're listening to Northern Light, only here on North Country Public Radio. It's 8:11. Good morning. I'm Monica Sandreski.
And I'm Catherine Wheeler. Stick around. A mother and son in Edwards are taking care of a litter of puppies. We'll meet them and those golden retriever puppies in just a few minutes.
That's coming up here on Northern Light. But first, let's listen to a little more music from the duo Famous Letter Writer out of Plattsburgh. Northern Light is supported by the Seagull Festival in Schroon Lake, presenting Gilbert and Sullivan's operetta HMS Pinafore, July 8th to 11th. More at seagullfestival.org. And by the Wild Center in Tupper Lake, dedicated to strengthening visitors' bonds with nature. More at wildcenter.org.
There are unhoused people all across New York State. Homeless outreach teams operate in cities like New York and Buffalo. But as the New York Public News Network reports, Jimmy Vielkind reports, the work is different in more rural areas.
Julie Overton is walking through tall grass by a highway outside Corning, about 75 miles west of Binghamton, near the Pennsylvania border. She's a social worker who's part of a state-funded program called SOS. Their mission is to help connect homeless people to housing and other services.
He lifted the tent. There's somebody in that white one definitely does not want to be seen, so we'll leave supplies by it, and then we'll come back to this location and try to make a connection.
Annual survey results show homelessness rose around the state after the pandemic, prompting state officials to expand their outreach. SOS first launched in New York City, where it's easier to spot people needing shelter. But its recent expansion to smaller, rural places like the Southern Tier has required new tactics for reaching people in need.
It's harder because the people are hiding.
That's Butch Andreas. He led the team along railroad tracks and under overpasses, looking for fresh litter and warm coals from recent campfires. He spends hours driving around Elmira, Corning, and the rolling farmland that surrounds them.
It makes my job harder because I have to find these people. And then I have to, get them resources, which there aren't as many.
Butch spent decades roaming the country without permanent shelter, hopping trains, hitchhiking, and doing drugs. He's what SOS calls a peer, and he says his experiences help him connect with people.
It comes later when I start talking about things that they have experienced that I know about, and it is because it's like the way I talk about it. I'm jaded, and it bothers me in that different way, and I'm like, it comes out in the slang that I say too.
The SOS team does outreach like this at least once a month. They work without the police, and they take a soft approach to people they find.
It's a 9 to 12 a month initiative.
That's Corinne Zodom, or Dr. Z. She oversees the program for the State Office of Mental Health.
The model consists of, outreach, low-hanging fruit, connect people quickly to services, helping them with housing, helping them remain in housing, and slowly backing off to ensure that they have the skills they need and the support they need to be able to function independently.
It can take a while to see that progress. We drive to a library in downtown Elmira. Julia's meeting with a 49-year-old man she's been helping named Mike Miller. They met at a soup kitchen shortly after he was released from prison.
She was a little mean. No, I'm just kidding.
No, Julie helped Mike apply for jobs and find housing, which was hard with a felony conviction.
Like when I went to prison, I had everything. I had a place to live, you know what I mean? I had anything I wanted and stuff. So it was difficult to come home, go to a homeless shelter.
I kind of take the analogy of this is your life, you're driving the bus.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're here to put gas in it, sometimes we're here to change a tire, sometimes we're just here to ride it with you, and we do take that soft approach and build that rapport, which kept him coming back.
The next step for Mike will be finding and keeping a job. For Julie, it will be finding more people in need. More Mikes.
Good morning, SOS, we have supplies.
In Elmira, I'm Jimmy Vielkind for the New York Public News Network.
A nonprofit based in Keene has purchased an iconic building in Lake Placid as its new headquarters. The Adirondack Land Trust announced yesterday that an anonymous donor funded the $2.1 million real estate purchase. The round-shaped structure on Saranac Avenue was originally built for the 1980 Olympics. It was then home to the Aroma Round Cafe before sitting vacant for the last 20 years. In a press release, CEO Mike Carr said that the Land Trust has grown out of its rental space in Keene and called the building in Lake Placid the perfect permanent home for the nonprofit. The Land Trust says it'll finalize architectural plans and begin renovations over the next 2 years before moving into its new headquarters in 2029.
And a serial killer from Long Island who was sentenced last month to life in prison without parole is being held behind bars in the North Country. According to NBC5, Rex Heuermann is currently serving time at Clinton Correctional in Dannemora. Heuermann was arrested 3 years ago and admitted to killing 8 women, most of them sex workers from Long Island. His known crimes began more than 3 decades ago when the first human remains were found in 1993. The 63-year-old has been working as an architect in New York City. The state's Department of Corrections confirmed to NBC5 that Heuermann is being held at the maximum security prison in Dannemora. Officials did not say how long he would remain in the North Country. Keep up with news from North Country Public Radio throughout the day on our website, ncpr.org, on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads. This is NCPR.
You're listening to Northern Light here on North Country Public Radio. It's 8:18. I'm Monica Sandreski.
And I'm Catherine Wheeler. Stick around after the show for Bird No, coming up at 8:42. With our eyes to the skies, sunset in Messina is at 8:50 tonight, and the moon is a waning gibbous at 99% of full.
Another hot day is coming your way today, with highs expected to reach into the mid-80s throughout the North Country. Then tomorrow and Thursday, things will really heat up, and humidity is expected to increase too, leading to heat indices into the 100s expected throughout the North Country tomorrow and Thursday. The National Weather Service has issued heat advisories for the Tug Hill and the Thousand Islands today, and extreme heat watches in effect for the Champlain Valley for tomorrow. At last check, it was 69 degrees in Chazy, 67 degrees in Glens Falls, 64 degrees in Indian Lake and in Croghan, 71 degrees right now in Cape Vincent. Life's big moments are often a time to take stock and think about how we want to live in the next season of our lives. That's something Christine Brassard has been thinking about. She recently retired from SUNY Canton. These days, she's been spending a lot of time with her son, Nick, who has Down syndrome. They started a new adventure together this spring. Together, they're helping his golden retriever take care of a litter of puppies. I caught up with them at their home in Edwards.
I just wanted to have a life experience for Nick. When I entered into what I don't like calling the retirement years, I just entered into a new phase where I'm devoting my life to give Nick any experience that might help with his growth, development, and independence. He could see his dog deliver and then keep a puppy from that delivery so that he will always have a dog with him. And to have Nick say, I've loved this puppy and they're my puppies, and to let them go to another family and that loss, and how it's going to be a good loss because that family will have the same joys and love that we had. The old saying, love never dies. And what a better way to get unconditional love. You get it from our kids with Down syndrome, but you also get it from a puppy. And these puppies are just a bundle of love. They seem to not be aggressive or mean by any means. Hi, Merluna. This is Mama. Mama Merluna. Want to go see your puppies? Huh? You want to go see your puppies? Good girl. This is my son, Nick.
Hi,
Nick, let's go over and hear those puppies.
Yeah.
Oh. What are you doing?
Oh, my God. They're so cute right now.
They are cute, aren't they?
Yeah.
Hi, honeys. I missed you. Oh, my goodness. Hi. What you been doing? Mommy miss you. Hi. Hi, Sage. Hi, Molly. You want to come see me? Here, Hank. Come here, Hank. Come here, buddy. Oh, come here. Mommy pick you up. Oh, my goodness. Look, yeah. Oh. Yeah, she loves to be cuddled. Yeah. Just a soft bundle of love. Do they relax you when you hold them, Nick?
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
Boy, are they a lot of work, though, sometimes?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But we're teaching them. Tell her you taught them to sit.
So we just taught them to sit, and we taught them to stay down and go to sleep.
And go to sleep. Did you help her deliver her puppies?
Yes. Mm-hmm. That's correct.
She wanted all of us with her. Yeah.
With her.
So
she was due April 7th, which is my Uncle Mike's birthday. And when the puppies were born, they were very little when they came out. When Merluna was staying there when she was breastfeeding them.
How did that feel when you saw that baby come out?
Oh.
Baby puppy. What did you do?
What
was your first reaction?
My reaction was a teary-eyed.
You were teary-eyed?
Yeah.
Oh, why were you teary-eyed? What were you?
Because it was so heartwarming when the puppy came out, and it was a pleasure to have did them out when they first got born. I love them, and it makes me more confident to have them. And the most precious thing is more by picking them up, by getting pets and love them. The puppies are more habituated to have them. It's more pleasure to let go.
A lesson to love and let go. Hank wants to get down and run, Nick.
Hey, buddy. Come on.
They're so cute.
Oh, are you tearing up?
A little bit. Yeah, it's hard.
Which part about it is hard?
I think the letting go. I'm not going to live forever. I got to leave something back. And what a wonderful way to this love go out into the world, and all the positive and wonderfulness that goes with that is where this journey really started. Is how could we just have something take us to an area that isn't negative, take us to a place that's peaceful and loving and fun and adventurous all in one. And Nick brought that to us when he was born, and you could be at your worst and he's still your best cheerleader to say, hey, you look great today, Mom. It's like, wow, thanks, Nick. Just watching him thrive. And I didn't expect Nick, and the unexpected turned into the most best adventure. Sometimes you just got to be adventurous and just jump in. That's what we did, didn't we, Nick?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Will we do it again?
Yeah.
You think we're going to do it again?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay. Call him, Nick.
That was Christine and Nick Brassard of Edwards.
We're going out on a little bit of music from Annie in the Water. This North Country band will be playing in Alexandria Bay on the 3rd and also playing at Party on the Patio in Saranac Lake this Thursday. This is their song, Here Right Now.
Just feel its direction, you know where to go. What does it mean and what will you do? Running so fast, jump down of your shoes.
Here right now from Annie in the Water. They have a couple of North Country shows coming up this week. Thursday, or Friday, that is, in Alexandria Bay, and Friday, July 4th, on Saturday, July 4th, at the Waterhole in Saranac Lake. This is North Country Public Radio.